Welcome back to The Process, the official breakdown of what's happening, what's next, and what's working for the National Collegiate Entertainers Group. I'm your host, Derek Prez Jackson. We started with recruitment. Last week, badges went live and the games officially began. This week, teams will begin preparing for auditions. So on today's episode, we'll be taking our first peek behind the curtain of NCEG's artist development process. But first, let's check up on our teams and go to the scoreboard. Last week, KSU came 4 points shy of overtaking GSU in Instagram followers, but this week, it's a completely different story. At Georgia State University, the Panthers have rallied, gaining 7 new members for a total of 81 and 68 new followers on Instagram, bringing them up to a total of 2,115 as an answer to KSU's challenge from last week. That re-widens the gap back from 4 to 56. But the Owls aren't folding anytime soon. Ending the week with 46 members, they have the largest jump in manpower we've seen so far, with 13 new inductees. But their social growth has slowed from the 77 that we saw last week. It's 13 this week, landing them at 2,059 followers and allowing the GSU team to pull away. Additionally, now that badges have been introduced, we're beginning to get a sense of these teams' activity. GSU is starting the year with 8 badges earned and a 9.88% engagement rate, whereas KSU has 2 badges earned and an engagement rate of 4.35, which is solid but could still use some improvement. So let's talk strategy. This week's focus is auditions. Chapters will start announcing their audition days, where they'll be selecting certified entertainers, or CEs for short. CE is the title awarded to artists that have been chosen by their team to represent the school. So recruitment built the team, badges built the credibility, but auditions, that's where we find our starters. This is the move from signups to performance, from potential to proof. If you want your spot as an artist, this is your moment. So let's take a look at the breakdown of members that have signed up for these teams. Typically, these numbers are a large indicator of the strategy that the teams will employ based off the interests and strengths of their members. Out of the 81 recruits for the GSU team, 44 are artists, 10 are A&Rs, 21 are audio, 1 is for events, and 4 for media, leaving 1 undecided. And out of the 46 recruits for KSU, 24 are artists, 4 are A&Rs, 2 are audio, 4 are events, and 10 are media, leaving 2 undecided. These numbers would suggest that we're expecting to hear a lot of new music coming out of the CEs on the GSU side, whereas KSU is likely to leverage and have an advantage in producing content. So as we move into auditions, I would expect that the GSU team is likely to pick their artists based off their catalog potential, whereas KSU is likely to prioritize charisma and engagement. So now for the moment you've been waiting for. How does all of this contribute to NCEG's Artist Development System? And how can you use what we do to guide the development of yourself or your own artist? Allow us to introduce you to NCEG stats. Here's how it works. As we progress through the year, stats on the artists participating will be revealed. The overall rank of each artist will be determined across 4 categories: music, show, team, and fans. The artist ranking in these areas is a direct reflection of each team's capabilities. So for today's episode, we'll be specifically talking about the show category. Since 2022, NCEG has been holding competitions between schools where artists are scored by industry professional judges to determine their overall performance capabilities. The criteria used by those judges is the same criteria used by our teams in the audition process: energy, preparation, quality, creativity, and engagement. As teams compete, artists produce performance scores, which back in 2022 were used to rank the top artists in NCEG's network. The number 1 artist from that year, Mase Speaks from Spelman College, who since then has more than proven why she earned the top spot. Since then, she's also been crowned as New Artist of the Year at the Boston Music Awards in 2023. But for transparency's sake, let's explain the judging criteria. Energy refers to the confidence that an artist has when performing. Preparation refers to the evidence of practice or rehearsal. Quality refers to the level of raw talent demonstrated. Creativity refers to the uniqueness of the presentation. And engagement refers to how well the artist interacts with the audience. Another noteworthy participant from the 2022 tournament is GSU alumni artist and winner of Netflix's Rhythm and Flow Season 2, DreTL. Information from the 2022 tournament season is now available at stats.nceg.org. But all of that brings us to today, where that same performance assessment system makes up just one category of our overall artist development process: the show rank. And our auditions are conducted to elect CEs based on the potential that our student leaders see in this category. So here's what's happening this week. Chapters announce their audition days and start selecting CEs. Badge challenges will remain open and recruitment campaigns will continue. And to continue their own recruitment efforts, Georgia State has announced their first big play of the season, the So ATL block party. GSU's own DJ Wavy H2O will be holding it down with featured artists and alumni DreTL and headliners Bankroll NI and Flippa T. It all goes down September 4th, and I'll be honest, it's hard not to see this move as a direct response to KSU's early efforts. Georgia State is putting their culture on full display and claiming their title as Alpha Chapter. So what are the stakes in all this? Every audition is a chance to shine. Every CE selected is the future face of your chapter, and every event produced is proof of execution. The auditions are fast approaching, so who's ready to step into the spotlight? And with that, we'll close out episode 3. And as always, the doors to NCEG are open. It may seem like a lot has happened in a short amount of time, but it's never too late to start. Get your team organized, lock in your dates, and start building your roster. I've been Prez, and this has been The Process, where we turn college creativity into career currency. See you next week.